during 2020, when it briefly looked like we were going to be allowed to have conversations in and around race in America, and everyone was getting checked if white people, for the first time, if you were gatekeeping, your place, there was a reckoning taking place. And we were having a larger conversation about race and surfing and in action sports, and it seemed there was some productive work that was being done. But I started to get the DMs from the people who were salty, who are, now I guess would be MAGA, and people just being like, how dare you? I can't believe that this is who you're choosing to be. Like, we let you in, and this is how you repay us.
Wow.
People who I knew. I just don't understand why you got to say all this, because I've known you this whole time. I never saw anything happen to you. So it didn't happen. You're making this up to capitalize on what's going on. But come on, bro, you're ours. How dare you choose to show up in the entirety of your blackness that makes me, after what we've done for you. You wouldn't have this career if it wasn't for us. This is what people were, and it's like, wait, I've been working my ass off. I never had an opportunity to be mediocre at any of this. I had to come in and give people no excuse. Yeah, it's just it's a trip how you find yourself in these spaces that like are giving you ultimate freedom. Like I said, like, that you get to be the entirety of yourself in nature, that these little gates that they put up create this whole other thing where you find yourself still fighting for identity and existence, when all you're really asking for is to just be. And I'm sorry that, my version of what brownness is explodes your brain, because you were stripped from being able to attach any type of, imagination or creativity to like what I could be endlessly, while you're allowed to be whatever. And I think that was, it's a trip. It's a trip to still find myself reckoning with it all these years later, but at the same time being encouraged, because there's a whole nother generation now of, of kids they can't be bothered with any of it, and they're starting to show up in droves.
I don't want to go away until I just honor and release the pain of friends of ours that we come up with, that when they're able to show who they really are, it's painful.
It's painful when you have to let them go.
It's painful. And because these are, childhood friends and sometimes business partners, and people see the outside world, like with you, like, oh my God, you're the voice for 25 years and you're an Australian and all this, and they don't see like all the micro that aren't ever micro. I hate the one that people say microaggression. Bro, an aggression is an aggression.
I didn't stab you. I just cut you with this blade.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm still bleeding.
I'm still bleeding.
Like people think you need to get the knife has to go in and get twisted.
No.
It's like, there's a reason why box cutters carried from back here, you didn't even feel. You didn't even know someone cut you. You want to talk about micro? Like, whoosh, they're gone, walking in the other direction. And you're like, I'm still bleeding.
Right.
Those are the hardest ones sometimes to heal.
Yeah. That's why I said the wound healed, but the scar is there.
Yeah.
And in my kind of organized background, I got to remind myself, hey, that's a system, that's pain talking, but it's still a real emotion. And then when you're talking about the vestiges of racism and domination and control, I mean, I still go around saying, hey, I'm Mike. Because when they were calling you Sal, my name's Michael. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Mike is the cooler, wider thing to be. Hey,
Right.
you're just like my cousin Mike. Cool. And it's this straddling of worlds that we didn't invent. And when we're young, we're like, oh, I guess I have to play that
You
part.
just want acceptance.
That's all it
You're not
is.
even thinking about all that.
Mm-mm.
So like, when you're a kid, when you're a teenager, you want acceptance, and you don't. What I learned, and it sounds like you learned as well. I didn't realize how much of myself I was giving up.
Yeah.
And when I finally recognized how much I had changed and how much I had allowed these people to shape the parameters of how I got to exist in this thing that was mine, it was really embarrassing.
Mm.
And I had to make some big changes because I had allowed behaviors and things to get said around me that were, when I think about it now, I don't even know like what sort of override button was allowing it to just to exist, because you're trying to stay safe. You think you're creating safety for yourself. But yeah, it took me like in my early 20s to sort of like, wait,
Snap out.
no, you're gonna see me, but you're gonna see the entirety of me.
Do you think I'm asking you and asking me at the same time, but obviously as an adolescent, you're in life, we all want to belong. Obviously it's hyper, it's like more as an adolescent, you want to fit in, but I'm just thinking about our fathers again, because my father was unapologetically Mexican. He was like proud to be Chicano. He was teaching Chicano studies for 40 years. Like he was all about it. So in my mind, I guess the question to you and to myself is like, do you think were we rebelling with our fathers by saying, hey, I'm actually going to run away from something I can't run away from? That's the lie. I can't run away from who I am. But do you think some of that was playing into it as well?
Absolutely. I was sprinting from everything my father was. Because it didn't seem attainable for me. It seemed like a lot of work and trouble. And I was also being raised in this thing that was telling me that even though I loved my father and I marveled at him, that I couldn't possibly want to emulate him. Like, and so it was this duality. Like, oh, he's amazing, but he's also bad. And so I was sprinting for what away from all of that. The irony in all that would be that like this thing that I found myself in, I would end up requiring me to step into and embody all the traits that he'd given to me, because I didn't know that I was going to end up doing similar work, or work at the same frequency in a different space. But that's what happened. I was just pursuing the joy of the thing.
Right.
And then next thing you know, you find yourself being somewhat of a representative for a larger conversation, and then finding yourself up against that friction, and then learning that the friction is actually a sign that you're doing things right.
Right.